Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're going to be working on the pergola garden, getting it all cleaned up and ready for winter. There's a few things I want to do. I want to get all the volunteers potted up. I want to get my vines pruned back, as well as getting all the perennials cut down, the calla lilies, the gladiolas, and anything else that needs to be cut back for the winter, and get this whole pergola ready for winter so I can move on to another garden, the vegetable garden, and start getting that one ready for winter, because we are already in, what is it, Echo? We're in November and the ground hasn't froze yet, so I want to try and get as much done now as I can before the ground freezes. We recently did the brick edging in a video, as well as the wood path, so go ahead and check those out. Now we're going to get the whole pergola garden cleaned up and pruned back. Today we're going to be digging up volunteers up in the jungle garden. My vines are having babies and I don't want them to take over the garden, so I'm going to be digging them up. And instead of getting rid of them, I'm going to be potting them up and overwintering them inside. I have a container in which I hold all of my extra plastic pots that I might use for later dates. And I think I have what I need in here somewhere for all the volunteers that I'm going to dig up. I think this stack will do. There we go, pup. Take these up there. So out here in the pergola garden, I have this pergola with 4 front legs. The first leg has a red trumpet vine on it. This leg is a passion vine. This one is a honeysuckle. And the last one is the well-known silver lace vine. They are all very fast growing vines, so I have to keep them pruned and in check on the pergola. But I also have to keep them out of the ground because they will drop a lot of seeds. And as you can see here, this is a red trumpet volunteer. This is a red trumpet volunteer. Here's another one. Here's a passion vine volunteer coming right out of the ground. And I believe we have another one back here. Big red trumpet vine. Actually 2 of them coming out of the back of this grass. Mainly it's the red trumpet vine and the passion vine dropping volunteers, so I'm going to be digging those up today. I haven't really found any of the honeysuckle or the silver lace vine, so we're just going to be pruning those back. Puppy, your ball is flat. It's always flat, puppy. There's also more volunteers on this side of the path. You can just see them still sticking up. So I'm going to be digging all of these up so they don't grow on next year and get any bigger. Look at how big these vines are getting even at a young age. This is the passion vine. You can see it is probably 8 feet long or so. And that is an impressive root structure. You can see how it just starts sprouting a new one right down the line, and we'll probably just keep going. So this is probably going to be fairly invasive where I have it. And then the the red trumpet vine has this massive root. Look at that length. And it's only this big. I don't know if it got cut back. It might have gotten cut down. It doesn't actually look like it, but that is a big, thick root. I am going to save some of these, but other ones I'm going to let die because I really don't need that many. I just want these 4 on the pergola. I might have some other places in the landscape, but I really don't need as many as they're going to put down, so some will have to die. Okay, I'm going to save a few of these trumpet vines, just probably 3 of them, and then I'm going to save the 2 passion vines coming off this one vine here. So I'm going to have to cut that in half. So I'll just use the shovel and give that a nice clean cut. So I'll go plant this one in a pot, plant this one in a pot, and prune back all the foliage so it's only maybe 6 inches and it can regenerate from there in the pot. I just noticed that I have a passion vine right there growing out. So I'm gonna have to dig this one up too. It's really small, and that just goes to show that we're gonna have a lot more showing up here in the mulch. There you go. I wasn't expecting that much roots. That is a lot coming off that little stub. But I'm gonna plant this one too. And I'm beginning to think that the pergola garden here might take a little bit of maintenance over the years to come. Now, these aren't the only volunteers that I have popping up in the pergola garden. Here's some volunteers back here that I did not plant. They are oaks. So believing the chipmunks and the squirrels have planted them. I got one right there that's already autumned off the red, and then we have this one that's still green. So I'm gonna be digging these ones up and potting them as well. Okay, now we're out here where I have some compost available for fall planting. This is straight mushroom compost, which I find to be the best to use in the garden. I'm going to scratch away the top layer of dry stuff here. And then take some scoops of the wet stuff, probably about a third in there. And I'm just going to take one of these, so this one, set it in, and then fill it in the rest of the way. Pack it in as you go. And then I'm going to saturate that with water, soak it down really nice to get all the air bubbles out of the soil, and that should be ready to go into winter. For one of these longer ones, I'm going to cut back the roots. Doesn't need this big a root system. And I'm actually going to cut back the plant as well, to probably about 1 foot to 15 inches. Now, it's not going to have any leaves, but I am hoping that it'll come back anyway with that amount of roots. So I think it will. It's a pretty aggressive grower. So same treatment. I'm going to get all these done, and then we'll go back to the pergola garden. What you doing? What you doing, Pop? You hunting a log pile. Whatever keeps you busy. So the pots I brought up are too small for the oak volunteers, but I did get all the vines potted up, so we are good there. spot. And now the pergola garden is all cleaned up. We have the pathways looking nice and beautiful going through there. The vines are all neat and pruned back. I do want to come through here with a fresh layer of mulch and get it all cleaned up for next year, but we just don't have the wood chips yet. I got the silver lace vine cleaned up, and the only thing I want to do now is go through and collect all the gourds. Some of them are drying from last year and some of them are new from this year, just grown. I want to get all those collected up and into the barn so they can dry over winter. I want to use them to create some birdhouses for around the property and any other crafts that I can use them for. I also now have an Amazon affiliate link down in the description below, so if you're doing any Amazon shopping, go ahead and click that link and go through there to do your shopping. It doesn't cost you anything, it just helps out me a little bit. I also have an Instagram channel, Whitt Acres Nature at Home. Go ahead and check that out. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.